व्यू पॉइंट हमारे वहाँ पे इस गली से चल लेंगे, यहाँ से भी। हाँ, यहाँ से भी।
हरे कृष्णा माता जी।
हरे कृष्णा।
Hare Krishna. Welcome everyone. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yudapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lilita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Kanta Namastute तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी ऋषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिय वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुवैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमद्भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश धारिणे श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna. Welcome dear devotees. Let us have a quick recap of chapter 10. What are some of the main points from chapter 10? Knock knock. Anyone there? All black screens out. Okay, since no one is there, let's proceed then. Chapter 11. Okay, the universal form. Let's begin. Anyone has any questions from chapter 10? That you wish to inquire from chapter 10? Okay, let's proceed with chapter 10. So after Sri Krishna describes his opulences, and in the last verse of chapter 10, where he's saying, Atva bahunaitena kim gyatena taparjana Vishtabhyaham Krishnam ekanshena chito jagat. So what need is there, Arjuna, for all this detailed knowledge? With a single fragment of myself, I pervade and support this entire universe. So he has spoken multiple times how he is pervading the entire universe. And here, Arjuna, in response to that, is saying this. Arjuna Vacha. Madanugrahaya paramam Uyam Adhyatma Sangitam Yatvayoktam Vachastena Mohoyam Vigato Mama. By my hearing the instructions you have kindly given me about these most confidential spiritual subjects, my illusion has now been dispelled. Which illusion has been dispelled? Arjuna will repeat the same realization in chapter 18, Nascha Moha, Smritir Labdha. There also he will say, my moha has been Nascha, dispelled. And in the beginning of chapter 11, he's also saying the same thing. As we were discussing yesterday, how in one sense Bhagavad Gita is concluded. The illusion of Arjuna is gone. He's accepting every instructions of Lord Krishna. He's clear in his intelligence what he needs to do. Okay, please read for the purport. Volunteer, please. Okay, yes, Pranam.
This statement reveals Krishna as the cause of all causes. He is even the cause of the Mahavishnu from whom the material universe emanates. Krishna is not an incarnation. He is the source of all incarnations. That has been completely explained in last chapter. Now, as far as Arjuna is concerned, he said that his illusion is over. This means that Arjuna no longer thinks of Krishna as a mere human being, as a friend of his, but as the source of everything. Arjuna is very enlightened and glad that he has such a great friend as Krishna. But now he is thinking that although he may accept Krishna as the source of everything, others may not. So in order to establish Krishna's divinity, for all he is requesting Krishna instructed to show his universal form. Form. Actually, when one sees the universal form of Krishna, one becomes frightened like Arjuna. But Krishna is so kind that after showing it, he converts himself again into his original form. Arjuna agrees to what Krishna has several times said Krishna is speaking to him just for his benefit. For Arjuna acknowledges that all this is happening to him by Krishna's grace. He is now convinced that Krishna is the cause of all causes and is present in everyone's heart as a spoken.
Yes. So which illusion of Arjuna has been dispelled? Can you write in chat section or speak? Which illusion Arjuna is saying? My illusion has now been dispelled. What is that illusion? We just read. Yes, Madhavan Prabhu.
that the Prabhuji, like Arjun, had the illusion of Krishna was like Krishna was no longer as a mere human but a source of everything that was being covered by the
Yes.
appearances.
Thank you, Madhavan Prabhu. Krishna is an ordinary human being. This illusion has been dispelled. If Krishna is an ordinary human being, his words are also ordinary. What special significance is there? So this illusion has been dispelled. Krishna is not an ordinary human being. He's not a human, even a human being or just a friend of him. He is absolute truth, the source of everything. He's source of all the avatars, including Mahavishnu. He is the source of all creation. He is the cause of all causes. Now, this illusion has been dispelled. It's destroyed for Arjuna. And now he is make a special request to establish Krishna's divinity for the whole world. So what he realized from instructions of Krishna, now he wants to establish the divinity of Krishna in front of the whole world. So that tomorrow if someone comes and claim, I am God, okay, prove it. Krishna proved it here by showing his universal form. Krishna is speaking to him just for him. So Arjuna acknowledges that all this is happening to him by Krishna's grace. Our illusion can be dispelled only by Krishna's grace. What is that grace? Krishna's instructions. So when we are reading Bhagavad Gita, when we are reading instructions of Sri Krishna, if we are getting it right, we will have the same realization that Arjuna had. We'll have the same effect. And what is that effect? Our illusion will be dispelled. Our ignorance will be destroyed. Bhavavyayau hi bhutanam shrutau vistarasho maya tvattaha kamala patraksha mahatmayam api chavyayam. He is addressing Krishna by which name? Such a beautiful name. Can you find out from the verse without looking at the meaning? Try. What is the name of Krishna? This verse. Kamala Patraksha. Aksha means eyes. And
Kamaline.
Kamala Patraksha. Such a beautiful name. Oh, Lotus-eyed one, I have heard from you in detail about the appearance and disappearance of every living entity and have realized your inexhaustible glories. Arjuna addresses Lord Krishna as lotus-eyed out of his joy. For Krishna has assured him in a previous chapter, Aham Kritsnasya Jagataha Prabhava Pralayastata. I am the source of appearance and disappearance of this entire material manifestation. Arjuna has heard of this from the Lord in detail. Arjuna further knows that in spite of his being the source of all appearances and disappearances, he is aloof from them. As the Lord has said in the 9th chapter, he is all-pervading, yet he is not personally present everywhere. This is the inconceivable opulence of Krishna, which Arjuna admits that he has thoroughly understood. So, remember this, Shrutau Vistarasho Maya. Do you remember in last chapter, this was the request that were put forth by Arjuna. Please explain your opulences in detail. Vistarena Atmanoyo. And here also he's saying, that's why he's saying, I have heard in detail. He had requested Krishna to explain his opulences in detail. Krishna explained in detail. And here he's saying, I have heard in detail. Can you recall? No. If you go through chapter 10 where Arjuna is making prayers, and after at the end of the prayers, go to the verse number 18. Vistarane atmano yogam vibhutim cha janardana bhuya kathaya triptiri shanvato nasatyam Vistarane na atmano yogam. So therefore here is also saying Vistara Shoma. I've heard in detail. एवमेतद् यथात्मम् आत्मानं परमेश्वर द्रष्टुमिच्छामि ते रूपम् ऐश्वरं पुरुषोत्तम. The greatest of all personalities of supreme form, though I see you here before me in your actual position as you have described yourself, I wish to see how you have entered into this cosmic manifestation. I want to see that form of yours. So in the previous chapter, Krishna is explaining all his opulences, and in the end, simply said, how much can I explain? Ekanshena sthito jagat. By my single spark, I am pervading everywhere. So now, Arjuna wants to see that form. How Krishna is pervading everywhere. It's a special form of that. That's why he's making that request here. The Lord said that because he entered into this material universe by his personal representation, the cosmic manifestation has been made possible at his going form. मन्यसे यदि तच्छक्यं मया द्रष्टुमिति प्रभो योगेश्वर ततो मे त्वं दर्शयात्मानम् अव्ययम्. If you think that I am able to behold your cosmic form, O my Lord, O Master of all mystic power, then kindly show me that unlimited universal self. Okay, please someone read the purport. You can unmute yourself and yes.
Yes. It is said that one can neither see, hear, understand, nor perceive the Supreme Lord, Krishna, by the material senses. But if one is engaged in loving transcendental service to the Lord from the beginning, then one can see the Lord by revelation. Every living entity is only a spiritual spark. Therefore, it is not possible to see or to understand the Supreme Lord. Arjun, as a devotee, does not depend on his speculative strength. Rather, he admits the limitations as a living entity and acknowledges Krishna's in inestimable position. Arjun could understand that for a living entity, it is not possible to understand the unlimited infinite. If the infinite reveals himself, then it is possible to understand the nature of the infinite by the grace of the infinite. The word Yogasvara is also very significant here because the Lord has inconceivable power. If he likes, he can reveal himself by his grace, although he is unlimited. Therefore, Arjun pleads for the inconceivable grace of Krishna. He does not give Krishna orders. Krishna is not obliged to reveal himself unless one surrenders fully in Krishna consciousness and engages in devotional service. Thus, it is not possible for a person who depends on the strength of this mental speculation to see Krishna. Hare Krishna.
So this verse shows the attitude of Arjuna. He was in the mood of surrender. Here he is not ordering, Krishna, I want to see, please show. If you don't show, I won't believe you are God. He's not saying anything like that. If you think that I'm able to behold your cosmic form, oh my Lord, kindly show me that. So he's very submissive. And only through submission one can see Krishna, otherwise not. Krishna is not obliged to reveal himself to anyone. He is supremely independent. Sometimes people debate whether God exists, doesn't exist. God's existence has no uh, dependence upon our believing whether he exists or not exists. The world is going on whether we believe or not. Someone, I don't believe sun exists. What does sun have to do? Sun is rising and setting at the same time. So, but if I want to see the sun in the night and I order sun, if you don't show yourself up, I won't believe you. No, sun will appear when it has to appear. I can only uh, wait. I cannot control sun. So, Srila Prabhupada writes, yeah, Arjuna knew one thing. He understood one thing, that for a living entity, it is not possible to understand the unlimited infinite. So then why he's saying show yourself? If it is not possible for a living entity to understand the unlimited infinite, so why is he saying, please show your unlimited universal self? Because Krishna is Yogeshwara. That is why he is addressing the Lord by Yogeshwara Tato Mitva. He is Yogeshwara. If infinite reveal himself, then it is possible. Because Lord has inconceivable. I don't have power. I am limited. By my limited power, I cannot understand the unlimited Lord. But unlimited Lord has unlimited power, and he is Yogeshwara. So through that unlimited power, he can reveal himself even to a limited living entity like. So that mode of submission is the only way I can understand God. I cannot understand God by challenge, by orders, or by even by my own endeavors alone. Okay, then Krishna is responding to Arjuna's request. Shri Bhagavan Vacha. Pashyame Partha Rupani Shatashotha Sahasrasha Nana Vidhani Divyani Nana Varnakriti Cha. So Krishna is saying, Pashya, see my Rupani. Rupani is again plural form of Rupa, Rupam. So it's Rupani. So what kind of form is there? Shatashodha Sahasrasha. Shatasha means hundreds or thousands, hundreds of thousands of Nana Vidhani Divyani. Various types of divine Nana Varna Kriti Nacha. See now my opulences, hundreds of thousands of very divine and multicolored forms. Do you have any experience of such form in this world? Hundreds and thousands of divine multicolored forms? Yes, so many forms are there in the nature. But can you see it, all of them at once, at one place? And all are those forms divine? So now Krishna is describing what is Arjuna about to see. Pashyadityan vasun rudran ashvinau marutastatha bahunyadrishta purvani pasyascharyaani bharata. So again he's saying Pashya. Previous word of shloka also Pashya, see. So see here the different manifestation of Adityas, Vasu, Rudras, Ashwani Kumaras, and all the other demigods. Do you remember all of these names had come in chapter 10 or chapter 10 also? behold the many wonderful things which no one has ever seen or heard of before. So no one had seen this form before, Krishna is saying. Which means what? Lord Krishna also showed his universal form to Duryodhana. Do you remember when in the last attempt of peacemaking, Krishna had gone to Duryodhana and Duryodhana had tried to capture Krishna and Krishna showed his universal form there. But that universal form and this universal form are different. That was not the full manifestation of universal form. It was complete, no doubt. Krishna's all forms are complete. But Krishna is saying this clearly here. No one has ever seen or heard of before. And Krishna is revealing. Ihaikastam jagata kritsnam pashyadya sacharacharam mama dehe gudakesha yachanya drashtum mikshasi. Arjuna, whatever you wish to see, behold at once in this body of mine. This universal form can show you whatever you now desire to see and whatever you may want to see in the future. Everything moving and non-moving is here, completely in one place. Sacharacharam. Says char and achar, moving and non-moving, everything. And drashtum itchasi, as Arjuna had wished. Please read the purport. Someone please go ahead and read the purport. Yes, Bhakti Prakash Madhuri.
Even though Arjun was personal friend of Krishna and the most advanced of learned men, he was still not possible for him to know everything about Krishna. Here it is
Verse
started
7.
that humans have okay, sorry. No one can see the entire universe while sitting in one place. Even the most advanced scientists cannot see what is going on the other part of the universe. But a devotee like Arjun can see everything that exists in any part of the universe. Krishna gives him the power to see anything he wants to see, past, present, and future. Thus, by the mercy of Krishna, Arjun is able to see everything.
On one hand, Krishna is saying, I'm present everywhere. I'm pervading everywhere. And Arjuna is wanting to see the form, how Krishna is pervading everywhere. How to see a form that pervades everywhere without pervading everywhere. I am situated at one place and there's whole creation behind me. And I want to see the form of the entire creation sitting at one place without me becoming all pervading. How is that possible? Possible, it looks like paradox. That is why Krishna is Yogeshwar. And that is why he's saying now this verse. न तु मां शक्यसे द्रष्टुम् अनेनैव स्वचक्षुषा दिव्यं ददामि ते चक्षु पश्य मे योगमेश्वरम्. You cannot see me with your present eyes. Therefore, I give you divine eyes. Behold my mystic opulence. Pashye me yogam aishwaram. Okay, please read. Oh, good. Mataji, you can continue. Bhakti Prakash Madhuri.
Okay. But a pure devotee does not like to see Krishna in any form except his form with two hands. A devotee must see his universal form by his grace, not with the mind but with the spiritual eyes. To see the universal form of Krishna, Arjuna is told not to change his mind but his vision. The universal form of Krishna is not very important. That will be cleared in subsequent verses. Yet, because Arjuna wanted to see it, the Lord gives him the particular vision required to see that universal form. Devotees who are correctly situated in a transcendental relationship with Krishna are attached by loving features, not by a godless display of opulences. The payments of Krishna, the friends of Krishna, and the parents of Krishna never wanted to see shows his opulences. They are so immersed in pure love that they do not even know that Krishna is the Supreme Personality Godhead. In their loving exchange, they forget that Krishna is the Supreme Lord. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is started that the boys who play with Krishna are all highly pious souls, and after many, many births, they are able to play with Krishna. Such boys do not want that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They take him as a personal friend, therefore, Shukdev Goswami recites this verse, Itiham Satam Brahma Sukha Bhutayah Dasyam Gatanam Para Devatana Manaya Shastranam Nara Darkena Sakham Prijarukha Pita Punya Pujanaha. There is the Supreme Person who is considered the impersonal Brahman by great sages, the Supreme Personality of Godhead by devotees, and a product of material nature by ordinary man. Now, these boys who have performed many, many pious activities in their past lives, they are playing with that Supreme Personality of Godhead. Srimad Bhagavatam 10.12.11, the fact is that the devotee is not concerned with seeing the Vishwaroop, the universal form, but Arjuna wanted to see it to sustain Krishna's statement so that in the future people could understand that Krishna not only theoretical or philosophical presented himself as the supreme, but actually presented himself as such to Arjuna. Arjuna not confirm his because Arjuna is the being of parampara system. Those who are actually interested in understanding the supreme personality of Godhead, Krishna, and who follow in the footsteps of Arjuna should understand that Krishna not only theoretical presented himself as the supreme, but actually revealed himself as a supreme. The Lord gave Arjuna the necessary power to see his universal form. He knew that Arjuna did not particularly wanted to see it, as we have already explained.
Okay, so why Arjuna is making this request to see the universal form of Krishna? Why? Based upon what you just read, what is the answer? Yes, Vishnu Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. He is Arjuna is actually asking Krishna to reveal his all you can say rupas for us to show the world that he is the ultimate God, or he is the supreme personality of Godhead, and all the other are parts of him, or they are all like.
Yes, exactly. So he's making this request to reveal Krishna's divinity in front of the whole world. And why does he want to reveal that divinity to the whole world? Why? What would happen if he establishes that?
Prabhuji, I
Yes.
guess so that no one in future will claim that I am the supreme personality or something like this. That's why.
Yeah. Yeah. What else? Yes, you're right. That's one reason. Why else does he want to establish Krishna's divinity in front of the whole world by making this request to show his universal form? Srila Prabhupada explains clearly, a devotee is not interested in universal form really. Why? Because the Sham Sundar root is most beautiful feature, is the most beautiful form. There's nothing more beautiful than the form of Krishna in his two-end form. Smeram Bhangi, Traya Parichitam, Sachi Vistirna Drishtim, Srila Rupa Goswami is writing, one gopi saying to another gopi, if you ever, even if you have a slightest of interest in friendship and love, society of this world, don't ever, even by mistake, go to Keshi Ghat. Because there is a person who's standing there in three form. He's bent from three places. And there's a slight smile on his face. And his eyes are moving hither and thither. And is decorated with a peacock feather. And in the moonlight, his form is so illuminating and charming. Even if you have even a single glance on that form, you will lose all interest in material friendship and society. So what can be more beautiful than the form of Krishna? So a devotee naturally has no interest in any other form. What to talk about universal form? Universal form, there is no universal form in the spiritual world. This is present only in material world. And this form is temporary, not even eternal, because this world is temporary. But why is he interested in making that request? So as Nila Mataji said, present the divinity of Krishna in front of the whole world. Why does he want to establish divinity of the whole world? So Bhakti Prakash Mataji said, because so that no one in the future claims to be Krishna. And there's one more reason that Srila Prabhupada is writing in this purport that we just read. Fact is that devotee is not concerned with seeing the Vishwarup. But Arjuna wanted to see to substantiate Krishna's statement so that in the future people could understand that Krishna not only theoretically or philosophically presented himself as the supreme, but actually presented himself as such to Arjuna. Arjuna must confirm this because Arjuna is the beginning of the parampara system. So this parampara had broken, as Krishna said in chapter 4, beginning, and he's choosing Arjuna to restart this parampara. So those who are actually interested in understanding Krishna and who follow in the footsteps of Arjuna should understand that Krishna not only theoretically presented himself, actually to protect us and people in the future of all the cheaters who falsely claims themselves to be Krishna. Arjuna wants us to get the right knowledge. Arjuna wants us to not be disillusioned, to be illusioned by false claims of people of this world that they are God. And if you understand this chapter rightly, we will become fixed in our conviction. Ishvara, Parama, Krishna, Satchit Ananda Vikra, Anadiradir Govinda, Sarvakarana Karana. Otherwise, in Srimad Bhagavatam, the symptoms of Kalyugs are given. Prayena Alpayusha Sapya, Kalav Asmin Yogejana, Manda Sumanda Patayo, Manda Bhagya Upadrita. People are so lazy, misfortunate, ill fortunate. What is their ill fortune? Even if someone becomes slightly interested, and one, they are lazy anyways. They're spiritually very lazy people in Kali Yuga. Out of all the ages, the laziest people have landed in this Kali Yuga. They're very active for a material benefit, but they're very lazy for spiritual benefit. But even if someone has a slightest of interest in spiritual life, there are so many cheaters. That is why Manda Sumanda Mataya Manda Bhagya. That is his Manda Bhagya. So Arjuna, he wants us to stay protected from all the cheaters. And that's why it's good. Yes, Neelam Madhurya, vision.
Prabhuji, can you explain that reason in detail, like about the parampara? You said Arjun is in the beginning of the parampara system. those who are actually interested in understanding the Supreme Personality. How we can relate this to that Virat roop and Krishna's roop? This is the reason, na third reason you said. Can you elaborate it, please? I'm confused in this.
Because at the beginning of parampara, so whatever will be his realization and whatever will be his understanding will be passed on to the next generation and will be passed on to the next generation like that. So someone can say Arjuna was a friend of Krishna. And just because he's friend of Krishna, he's doing lot of flattery. Because Krishna is his friend, he's promoting his own friend. Krishna is not actually God. Sometimes in future, people may say Krishna is not actually God. Arjuna was connected in friendship now. Because he was a relative of Krishna, that's why he said Krishna is God. But here, Arjuna, by making this request, he is asking Krishna to prove how he's all pervading. So, in the same way, because we are coming in parampara of Arjuna, now if someone comes in front of us and say, I am Krishna, I am avatar of Krishna, I am the same Krishna who appeared in the Dwapar Yuga and who spoke Bhagavad Gita, now I've appeared again, and this is my Leela. What would you do? Because we are coming in parampara of Arjuna, we will ask him the same thing. Okay, you are claiming to be God? Okay, show us your universal form. Is it clear, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Yes, Prerna Mataji.
So we talked about that being common Arjuna's disciplic succession. Like from Arjuna, the Gram is coming to us. So, like in the disciplic succession in the starting of Bhagavad Gita, it is starting from Krishna, but there is no name of Arjuna there. So, can you explain this?
I understood only half of it. Are you asking the disciplic succession given in the beginning of Bhagavad Gita does not mention Arjuna? And here we are saying the parampara is beginning from Arjuna. Are you saying this? Is this your question? So yes, there is not. It is not that there is only one parampara in this world. For that, you have to understand the concept of sampradaya. What is the difference between parampara and sampradaya? So, for example, if you take out that parampara given in Bhagavad Gita, let's see, let's look at that parampara. Who is at the uh, in the end of this parampara? What's the name that is given?
Is Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada.
Yeah. So was A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada the only disciple of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati? There are so many other disciples. So in all of their uh, so uh, so what happens to them? So if someone else is the disciple of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, their name would come, and then it would be a different parampara, right? Uh, was Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur the only disciple of Narottam Das Thakur? Or let us say this disciple succession is mentioned till 32. Till A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. So A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami has departed from this world, right? He has disappeared. His end is now. So what happens after that? Who would be 33 and 34 and 35 and 30? How many disciples Prabhupada? Right? Over 4,000 disciples. So anyone who will be presenting, who will be passing on the message as it is with suitable qualification, they'll come in discipleship. So one sampradaya can have many parampara, right? Just see, On third, Narad Muni is there. So Narad Muni has so many disciples. And Vyasadeva is one of them. Vyasadeva had so many disciples. Madhvacharya is one of them. So different paramparas can be there in one sampradaya. One sampradaya will have many such paramparas. So when we say Arjuna has started the disciplic succession, Arjuna is hearing from Krishna. The source is Krishna. So, but Arjuna did not accept any disciples. Right? He was a warrior. He was a Kshatriya. He was not a Brahmana. He did not go out and started teaching Bhagavad Gita and accepting disciples and giving that knowledge, and then his disciples are propagating for his disciples are propagating. So in that context, this discipleship is coming in that context. They are chain of spiritual masters who have taught and specially propagated Bhagavad Gita. Yes, Neelam Madhavi.
Sorry, Prabhuji. But all of these names which are mentioned here, they are in the disciplic succession. What about after Srila Prabhupada? Still, the preaching process is going on, and the Srila Prabhupada disciples, they are still preaching. So, I want to say that whether the parampara is continued.
Yes, absolutely. Parampara is continued. See, earlier times there were no printing press. There were no books written. The transmission was only through oral form, right? So now the book has been published. At least you know that preservation of book is there. So anyone who's disciple, who is following the teachings as it is and sharing the knowledge as it is, they will come in the parampara. Their name may be printed, not printed, that's not the point. See, even in this, only 32 names are there. When did Vyasdev appear? 5,000 years back. When did Prabhupada appear? Just recently. So do you think in 5,000 years, only 32 successions were there? Even if each person lives for 100 years, assumingly, it is still 3,200 years. What about the remaining 2,000 years? What happened there? Are you getting the point? Point is not whose name is published in the book or not. If you are following the teachings of Prabhupada and presenting it as it is without changing anything, then you will come in the disciplic succession. If someone is going out, a book distributor, and is distributing this book to someone, that person is coming in disciplic succession because they are sharing this knowledge as it is. So we all are coming, we are all are part of this disciplic succession. And we all can become instruments of Krishna if we do just one thing. Hear and pass it on the message. Sometimes people think becoming guru is very complicated. It's not. Srila Prabhupada said it's like someone who's giving the money order. Guru is simply like a postman. People have lot of, how do I say, romanticized concepts about around guruship. A guru has to have some sort of effulgence. He has to have one extra arm. He has to perform some miracle, and he has to have big dadi, or he must be in saffron. He must have big shikha. I don't know what all that is. He should have this many followers. He should have lot of kathas, lot of books. What? I mean, people have all. He should be born in a particular state, born in a particular caste. Otherwise, they cannot be guru. It's not that. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructed everyone to become a guru, specifically to Indians. And when I say Indians, that time Pakistan is included in that India, not the geographical look map in present times, not in that way, but according to Bhagavatam, a description of India, Bharat Varsha. Bharat Bhumite Hoile, Manusya Janma Ja, Janma Sarthak Kari. Amar agya hoy guru tare desh. So why is saying that on my order become a guru? And what do we mean by becoming a guru? Jare dekho tare ka hai Krishna upadesh. Whomever you meet, whomever you see, speak about Krishna. Even the little Saraswati, the daughter of Janaki and Sham Sundar Prabhu, she was 3 years old. And anyone who would come to meet Prabhupada, because she was a child, she would enter the room and would say, do you know who is Krishna? Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. A 3-year-old child. She is acting as a guru. Her knowledge is, her preaching is perfect. So, and on the order of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we all are supposed to function in that capacity to, to pass on the message of Krishna as it is, without any ulterior motive, without changing message, just passing on that message to others. And you become a guru. Is it clear, Madhuri?
Ji Prabhu, thank you.
Okay, so let's go to next. Sanjay Vacha. The previous verses were spoken by Krishna Vacha. And prior to that, Arjuna Vacha. Now, Sanjay is speaking. And he's speaking to whom? Dhritarashtra. Sanjay and Dhritarashtra are not on the battlefield. They are in their palace. And Sanjay, on the mercy of Vyasadeva, could see the and could see and hear the conversation between Arjuna and Krishna. So he's narrating this to Dhritarashtra. Evam muktva tato rajan mahayogeshwaro hari darshayamasa parthaya paramam rupam aishwaram. Sanjay said, O king, having spoken thus, Supreme Lord of all mystic power, the personality of Godhead, displayed his universal form to Arjuna. So before that, whatever Krishna gave the description of universal form, Arjuna did not see that. Arjuna will start seeing only now when Krishna has given him special powers, special vision. This means what? Sanjay also had that special vision. Not just Arjuna, but even Sanjay saw the universal form by grace of Vyasadeva. अनेक वक्त्रानयनम् अनेकाद्भुत दर्शनम् अनेक दिव्याभरणम् दिव्यानेकोद्यतायुधम् दिव्यमालयाम्बरधरम् दिव्यगन्धानुलेपनम् सर्वश्चर्यमयम् देवमनन्तम् विश्वतोमुखम्. Please read.
Arjuna saw in that universal form unlimited mouths, unlimited eyes, unlimited wonderful visions. The form was decorated with many crystals, ornaments, and bore many divine upraised weapons. He wore sessile garlands and garments, and many divine scents were seen over his body. All those wonders, brilliant, unlimited, all expanding.
So one word has come many times here. Aneka, Aneka, Aneka. Right? And then Divya, Divya. So he had unlimited mouths, unlimited eyes, unlimited wonderful vision. So if we see someone with unlimited mouths or more than one mouth, more than one eye, we usually see only in horror movies, right? But here, no horror movies going on. It's wonderful visions. Although they're Aneka, but they are all Divya and Adbhut. Celestial ornaments, upraised weapons, celestial garlands, celestial garments. Many divine scents were smeared over his body. Wow, what a description. Divi Surya Sahasrasya Bhaved Yugapad Utthita यदि भासदृशी सा स्यात् भासस्तस्या महात्मनः. If hundreds of thousands of suns were to rise at once into the sky, their radiance might resemble the effulgence of the Supreme Person in that universal form. Hundreds of thousands of suns. We can't even look at one sun. That is why this special vision is given. Right? Some sort of special superpower goggles or something, some transcendental vision is given. And Arjuna could see hundreds of thousands of suns. They might, their, their radiance might resemble, which means the radiance of universal form was so much larger than hundreds and thousands of suns at the same time. तत्रैकस्थं जगत्कृत्स्नं प्रविभक्तम् अनेकधा अपश्यद् देवदेवस्य शरीरे पाण्डवस्तथा. That time Arjuna could see in the universal form of the Lord the unlimited expansions of the universe situated in one place, although divided into many, many thousands. The word Tatra is very significant. It indicates that both Arjuna and Krishna were sitting on the chariot when Arjuna saw the universal form. Others on the battlefield could not see this form because Krishna gave the vision only to Arjuna. Tata sa vismayavischyo vischaroma dhananjaya pranamya shirasa devam kritanjalir abhashata. Then bewildered and astonished, his hair standing on end, Arjuna bowed his head to offer obeisances and with folded hands began to pray to the Supreme Lord. His hair standing on end. That was the emotion. He was astonished. He was bewildered. And Arjuna bowed his head. And now Arjuna is making prayers to the Supreme Lord. Arjuna Vacha. Pashyami devamstava devadehe sarvamstata bhut vishesha sanghan brahmanamisham kamalasanastham rishimsta sarvanuragamsta divyan. My dear Lord, I see assembly in your body, all the demigods, various other living entities. I see Brahma sitting on the lotus flower, as well as Lord Shiva and all the sages and divine servants. So what did Arjuna see in that universal form? He's explaining that. And this description is being told by Sanjay to Dhritarashtra. So all the demigods, he saw Brahma, saw Shiva, saw divine serpents, saw the sages. अनेकबाहुद्रवक्त्रनेत्रं पश्यामि त्वां सर्वतोन्तरूपं नान्तं न मध्यं न पुनस्तवादिं पश्यामि विश्वेश्वर विश्वरूपा. Lord of the universe, or universal form, I see in your body many, many arms, bellies, mouths, and eyes, expanded everywhere without limit. I see in you no end, no middle, and no beginning. So, okay, someone please read translations till verse 31. Let us chant verses at the same time. Then you can someone lead the chanting of the verses till verse 31? Just the Sanskrit verses. Try. Someone would like to try? From verse 17 to 30. I mean, you can chant 2, 3 verses, 1, 2 verses, whatever you want. Yes, Kishori Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Prabhu from 11, from 12.
Chant verse 17.
17.
Yes, go ahead, Mataji. Kishori Mataji.
Yes, Prabhu. Kirtinam Gandhinam Patrinam Cha Tejo Rasim Sarvato Kittinam Pashyami Tvam Ganyasyam Samantat Ittanilapa Yuttam Apramiyam
Next verse also.
Tvam Aksharam Pramam Vidya Yam Tvam Asya Ishtisya परं निधानं त्वम् अव्यया शाश्वता धर्मगुप्ता सनातन त्वं पुरुषो न त्वमेव.
Yeah. These are 11 syllable verses. So their meter would be Tvamaksharam paramam veditavyam Tvamasya vishvasya param nidhanam Tvamavyayah shashvata dharma gopta Sanatanastvam purusho mato me. Okay, like that. Okay. Yes, Neela Mataji, continue.
I do to continue. I am always facing difficulty in the pronunciation of the verses. Can you, Prabhuji, can you help us out how we can read these verses? Because it is too difficult for me to memorize them and to read them whenever I am going through Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam. It is very difficult for me. So because sometime we are pronouncing S as ch, sometime as s, ch and k. That is difficult for me.
Go to the end. There's an appendix on Sanskrit pronunciation guide. Open that. Do you
In
have
that,
Bhagavad? After the glossary, the next appendix in English Bhagavad Gita, the Sanskrit pronunciation guide.
can't find.
Mataji,
Go to the last
767.
page of glossary
Last page of philosophy.
and then turn the page.
And after that, last page of glossary, I think so. I'm having different things. With ISKCON temples in India, we are talking about ISKCON temples in India.
Don't have Sanskrit pronunciation guide with you in English.
I can't find it.
Page 767 is there.
767. Yes, Prabhuji.
Did you find?
I find glossary now. After that, yes.
Sanskrit pronunciation guide.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So there is a portion of sibilant symbols towards the end.
Okay.
There is a mark on S. There's a dot below S. And it's just the arrow.
Yes.
Thank you, Prabhuji. It will be really helpful. I was struggling with the verses because of these dots. Sometimes I was pronouncing iska, sometimes ch. Thank you.
Just go through this guide once, and if you have any confusion, you ask tomorrow on the next class. Just read
Okay.
this one. Okay.
I'll read it today. Thank you.
Yes, Bhakti Prakash Madhuri, you can read 19 and 20.
जी प्रभु अनादिमध्यन्तमनन्तवीरम् अनन्तबाहु शशिसूर्यनेत्रम् पश्यामि त्वां दीप्तहुतासविक्रम् स्वतेजविश्वमिदं तापतन्तम् दिव्या प्रथायोरिदमन्तरं हि
No, it's not Divya.
व्यापात्
It's not Divya. Dyava.
ओके द्यावा पृथिव्योरिदमन्तरं हि व्यापात्मत्वायाकेन देश च सर्वः दृष्ट्वादभूतं रूपमुग्रं त्ववेदं लोकत्रयां प्रविधात्यं महात्मान्.
So everyone needs to chant, okay? keep, I'm chanting, all of you chant along with me. Try to chant, okay? We'll all chant together. You can keep yourself on mute, but make an effort to chant these verses. Again. Ami hitvam sur sangha vishanti kechid bhita pranjalayo grananti swastitya maharshi siddha sangaha स्तुवन्ति त्वां स्तुतिभिः पुष्कलाभिः रुद्रादित्या वसवो ये च रुद्रादित्या वसवो ये च साध्या विश्वेश्विनौ मरुतश्चोष्मपाश्च गन्धर्वयक्षासुरसिद्धसङ्घा वीक्षन्ते त्वां विस्मिताश्चैव सर्वे. And then there's another way to chant this. रूपं महते बहुवक्त्रनेत्रं महाबाहो बहुबाहुरुपादं बहुदरं बहुदंष्ट्रकरालं दृष्ट्वा लोका प्रवयतिथास्तथाहं नभास्पृशं दीप्तमनेकवर्णं व्यात्ताननं दीप्तविशालनेत्रं दृष्ट्वा हि त्वां प्रव्यतिथान्तरात्मा रतिं न विन्दामि शमं च विष्णु दंष्ट्राकरालानि च तै मुखानि दृष्ट्वैव कालानलसन्निभानि दिशो न जाने न लभे च शर्म प्रसीद देवेश जगन्निवास अमी च त्वां धृतराष्ट्रस्य पुत्रः सर्वे सहैवावनिपालङ्गसङ्गैः भीष्मो द्रोणः सूतपुत्रस्तथासौ सहास्मदीयैरपि योद्धमुख्यैः वक्त्राणि ते त्वरमाणा विशन्ति दंष्ट्राकरालानि भयानकानि केचित् विलग्न दशनान्तरेषु संदृश्यन्ते चूर्णितैरुत्तमाङ्गैः यथा नदीनां बहवोऽम्बुवेगः समुद्रमेवाभिमुखा द्रवन्ति तथा तवामि नरलोकवीरा विशन्ति वक्त्राणि अभिविज्वलन्ति यथा प्रदीप्तं ज्वलनं पतङ्गा विशन्ति नाशाय समृद्धवेगः तथैव नाशाय विशन्ति लोकास्तवापि वक्त्राणि समृद्धवेगः लेलीयसे ग्रसमान समन्ताल लोकान् समग्रान् वदनये ज्वलद्भिः तेजोभिरापूर्य जगत् समग्रं भासस्तवोग्रः प्रतपन्ति विष्णु आख्याहि मे को भवानुग्ररूपो नमस्तु तदेववरा प्रसीद विज्ञातुमिच्छामि भवन्तमाद्यं न हि प्रजानामि तव प्रवृत्तिम्. Okay, now please see the meaning. Someone who has not read so far and you would like to volunteer to read the meanings of the verses. Yes, Abhiram Shant Prabhu. So from verse 17 onwards till 31.
Your form is difficult to see because of its glaring effulgence, spreading on all sides like blazing fire or the immeasurable radiance of the sun. Yet I see this glowing form everywhere, adorned with various crowns, clubs, and discs. 18. You are the supreme primal objective. You are the ultimate resting place of all this universe. You are inexhaustible and you are the oldest. You are the maintainer of the eternal religion, the personality of Godhead. This is my opinion. You are without origin, middle, or end. Your glory is unlimited. You have numberless arms, and the sun and moon are your eyes. I see you with blazing fire coming forth from your mouth, burning this entire universe by your own radiance. Although you are one, you spread throughout the sky and the planets and all space between. O Great One, seeing this wondrous and terrible form, all the planetary systems are perturbed. All the host of demigods are surrendering before you and entering into you. Some of them, very much afraid, are offering prayers with folded hands. Host of great sages and perfected beings crying, all peace, are praying to you by singing the Vedic hymns. All the various manifestations of Lord Shiva, the Adityas, the Vasus, the Sadhyas, the Vishvavedas, Vishwadevas, and the two Ashvis, the Marutas, the forefathers, the Gandharvas, the Yakshas, the Asuras, and the perfected demigods are beholding you in wonder. O mighty armed one, all the planets with their demigods are disturbed at seeing your great form, with its many faces, eyes, arms, thighs, legs, and bellies, and your many terrible teeth. And as they are disturbed, so I am. So am I. O all pervading Vishnu, seeing you with your many radiant colors touching the sky, your gaping mouths, and your glowing eyes, my mind is perturbed by fear. I can no longer maintain my steadiness or equilibrium of mind. O Lord of Lords, O refuge of the worlds, please be gracious to me. I cannot keep my balance seeing thus your blazing death like faces and awful teeth. In all directions, I am bewildered. All the sons of Dhritarashtra, along with their allied kings, and Bhishma, Drona, Karna, and our chief soldiers are rushing into your fearful mouths. And some I see trapped with heads smashed between your teeth. As the many waves of the rivers flow into the ocean, so do all these great warriors enter blazing into your mouths. I see all people rushing full speed into your mouths as moths dash to destruction in a blazing fire. O Vishnu, I see you devouring all people from all sides with your flaming mouths, covering all the universe with your effulgence. You are manifest with the terrible scorching rays. O Lord of Lords, so fierce of form, please tell me who you are. I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. I offer my obeisances unto you. Please be gracious to me. You are the primal Lord. I want to know about you, for I do not know what your mission is.
Okay. So that was Arjuna in ecstasy, in bewilderment, in astonishment, with his hair standing on end, and seemingly very fearful also, seeing such a fierce form. So he's describing. And what did he describe? So, blazing fire coming forth from Krishna's mouth, which is burning this entire universe. So if you see from verse 19 onwards, Arjuna is basically describing the Kala Roop of Krishna. This Kala Roop. And what is that Kala Roop? Blazing fire coming forth from his mouth, which is burning this entire universe. There are numberless arms. Sun and moons are his eyes. He is without origin, middle, or end. And Srila Prabhupada, you will see Arjuna repeating many things. And this is not a flaw of the language. It is a sign of bewilderment, wonder, of great ecstasy. When someone is in great ecstasy or is so much struck with wonder, we keep on repeating things. So Arjuna is in that state. That is why he is repeating many things, because he's thunderstruck. He's in great ecstasy. He's so much in wonder seeing this special form of Krishna. So this form is spread throughout. It's spreading throughout the sky and planet and all spaces in between. And not just Arjuna, he's seeing that all planetary systems are perturbed seeing him, seeing Krishna. And Srila Prabhupada writes in verse 20. Someone can say Arjuna is watching a dream and he's just describing a random dream. But no. Okay. Please, someone read this purport. Yes, Krishna Prabhu.
Yeah.
Divya
It's
Divya
Dyava. Dyava. There's
Dhyap,
a Padam Dyavu Shantim. So this is that Dyavu. There's the Premanjana.
the space between heaven and earth, and Loka Taryam, the three worlds, are significant words in this verse because it appears that not only did Arjuna see this universal form of the Lord, but others in other planetary systems saw it also. Arjuna's seeing of the universal form was not a dream. All whom the Lord endued with divine vision saw that universal form on the battlefield.
He was not alone. Krishna gave this vision to others also, and they also saw, which proves that Arjuna is not seeing a dream here. Right? And what else he's describing in that Kala Rupa? That all the demigods and sages are petitioning Lord. Demigods are surrendering with folded hands. Great sages are praying with great hymns, Vedic hymns. Shiva, Aditya, Vasus, they are beholding this form in wonder. And if you see from verse 23 onwards, till verse 22, he is in wonder. But verse 23 onwards, something happens. His rasa, his mellow changes. He is now more fearful seeing this form. Like before this verse, the description illustrates he is in wonder. But verse 23 onwards, it's such a fearful form. Arjuna is now fearful. How do we know? Arjuna is saying, and they are disturbed, so am I. So he's very disturbed now, seeing this form. Not only he, all the demigods, they are very disturbed at this point. And he's saying, my mind is perturbed by fear. You see? Arjuna is saying this. So he is losing steadiness, equilibrium of mind because his mind is perturbed by fear. I can no longer maintain my steadiness. And now, verse 26 to 30. Arjuna is seeing what is about to happen in future. So he's seeing the future occurrences. So in this Kala Rupa, he's seeing all the past, present, and future at the same time. How is that possible? We don't know. It is only possible by Yogeshwara, by mercy of Krishna. He gave the special vision. Only then we can understand. But even in this ecstasy, by the description of Arjuna, we can get a glimpse into it. We can try to appreciate. So now he's describing all the future occurrences. Because in verse 7, Krishna said that Arjuna could see whatever he may want to see in the future. Right? In verse 7, Krishna had mentioned that. So now he will describe in verse 26, 27. All the sons of Dhritarashtra, along with the relict kings and Bhishma, Drona, Karna, and our chief soldiers also are rushing into your fearful mouth. So this war has not started, but he's still seeing this. So he's seeing this. It's happening in the future. And some I see trapped with heads smashed between your teeth. To have that vision, no ordinary person can see this and remain steady. It's a very fearful description. And this also shows that all his uh, see, Arjuna was thinking, if I don't fight, I can protect, I don't have to kill my teachers and my family members. But here he's seeing all his teachers and relatives on the opposing side, on his side also, many of soldiers, they are being killed already. They are being smashed between the teeth of Krishna. Their heads are smashed between the teeth of this universal form. So do all these great warriors enter blazing into your mouth. He's giving an analogy as many waves of river flow into the ocean. I see all people rushing full speed into your mouth as moths dash to destruction in a blazing fire. So he gave two analogies. Just like rivers enters into an ocean, just like moths dash to destruction in a. Do you know what is a moth? कीट पतंगे देखे हमने हिंदी में बोलते हैं कहीं भी लाइट होती है they enter into that light, right? So they are attracted by light, and there is a fire, they are attracted by fire, and they enter into the fire and they are burnt. I see you all devouring all people from all sides with your flaming mouths, covering all the universe. The manifest with terrible scorching rays. O Lord, so fierce of form, please tell me who you are. So in this fear, Arjuna is asking two questions. Who are you and what is your mission? Why is Arjuna suddenly asking, who are you? Because so far he was thinking Krishna has to be his sweet friend. And he may know Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. But what he's seeing now is so bewildering. He's so puzzled. He's seeing so many forms at the same time. And these are exhibited. So that's why he's asking this question. Please tell me, who are you and what is your mission? So verse 32, 33, 34, Krishna is responding to these questions. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha. Kalosmi loka shayakrit pravraddho. Kalosmi loka shayakrit pravraddho. Lokan samahritamiha pravartaha. कालोऽस्मि लोकशयकृत् प्रवृद्धो लोकान् समाहर्तुमिह प्रवर्तः ऋतेऽपि त्वां न भविष्यन्ति सर्वे येऽवश्चिताः प्रत्यनेकेषु योद्धः. Krishna is saying, time I am the great destroyer of the worlds, and I have come here to destroy all people. With the exception of you, all the soldiers here on both sides will be slain. Kalosmi. So there are 5 subject matters of Bhagavad Gita, right? What are those subject matters? What are the 5 subjects of Bhagavad Gita?
Ishwar, Jeev, Kal, Karan, and Time.
Yes. Ishwar, Jeev, Kal, Prakriti, Karma.
I will repeat it.
So Kala is also one of the subject matters of Bhagavad Gita. In 10th chapter, at least at 2-3 different places, Krishna spoken about Kala. And here also he is speaking about Kala Shakti. So previously Arjuna was describing Kala Rupa, and here Krishna himself is saying, Kalosmi lokashay krit pravriddho. Time I am. If you have seen that movie, Oppenheimer, or remember when the nuclear bomb was put by America on Japan. So seeing that effect of that nuclear bomb, he recited this verse, Kalosmi lokashay krit pravriddha. Time I am the great destroyer of the world, and I have come here to destroy all people. So death could not be checked even if he did not fight. In fact, they were already dead. Time is destruction, and all manifestations are to be vanquished by the desire of Supreme Lord. So the very reason for which he was not fighting, was not willing to fight, Krishna showed that that has already happened. Don't think that these people are going back. They're already dead by my arrangement. Whether you fight or don't fight. So therefore, Krishna is saying, Tasmat tvamutishta yasho labhasva jitva shatrun bhungsurajyam samriddham vaite nihita purvameva nimittamatram bhavasavya. So this is one of the very famous verse of Bhagavad Gita. Specifically this last line, Nimittamatram bhavasavya. So tasmat means Krishna saying therefore, Uttishcha. Tishta means get up, Arjuna. Yashola bhasva, gain this glory. Yasha, get this fame, this glory. Jitva Shantrun Bhukshvarajyam Samridram. Jitva, conquer your Shatru, enemies, and enjoy your kingdom. Maye vaite nihita purvameva. Purvameva means I've already destroyed them. Nihita, they are already killed. Purvam. Purvam means पहले से arrangement हो चुका है. By previous arrangement, they are killed. So if they are already killed, what am I supposed to do? Nimitta matram bhava savyasachil. Become a nimitta matram. Become an instrument. Therefore, get up, prepare to fight and win glory. Conquer your enemies and enjoy a flourishing kingdom. They are already put to death by my arrangement, and you, Sabyasachi, can be but an instrument in the fight. If you understand this verse, entire life can be sorted. You can live in peace and happiness, and you can live with ultimate satisfaction. If you misunderstand this verse, it can create havoc in life. Oftentimes, sometimes people ask, become an instrument. Oh, what is so glorious in becoming an instrument? I want to do something independently and I want to get that credit. But Krishna says in the introduction, Srila Prabhupada mentions, we all are trying to become controller and enjoyer. All living entities in this world, they're trying to control and enjoy. All the wars that are happening, someone wants to control Strait of Hormuz so that they can conquer oil, they can control economy, they can control trade. Except their own mind and senses, they want to control everything. And they want to enjoy that. And that is the cause of all disturbance in this world. No one can become a controller, no one can become an enjoyer. So absolute controller and absolute enjoyer. To the degree living entity recognize Krishna is the supreme controller, Krishna is the supreme enjoyer. What's that verse? The peace formula 529. Bhoktaram Yagitapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. Right? To the degree I become a cooperator in enjoyment of Krishna, to that degree I'll be happy. That's why Krishna is saying Nimitta Matra Sarvisajya. I will always have two choices in my life. Whether to become an instrument at the hand of Krishna or whether to become an instrument in the hands of Maya. What do we mean by Maya? To become an instrument, whether I want to enjoy my own senses or whether I want to give enjoyment to the senses of Krishna. To the degree I try to enjoy my own senses independently, I'll be miserable. To the degree I give pleasure to the senses of Krishna, I'll be happy. Very easy to say theoretically, yet our knowledge becomes covered again and again and again. It is so conditioned. But if I can understand this one fact, Jiva Das, Krishna Das, Karle to aur dukha nahi. The Jiva is the servant of Krishna If you believe this one thing, just this one thing in life, if you trust fully that Jiva is Krishna Das, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says there is no more dukkha in life. You'll always be happy. Jiva Das, Jiva Krishna Das, A Vishwas, kar le to aur dukha nahi. So nimitta matra sabya to become an instrument in the hands of Krishna. That is the supreme glory. Do you remember that bhajan that Srila Prabhupada writes on the Jaladuta? Markine Bhagavad Dharma. Let me this. Oh, Govinda. Are you able to see? Gaurav Kripa. Koile Krishna. Adha mera rati. Ilagi anile heta. And he's writing, Ani acho jadi Prabhu. Amare na chate. Na chao Prabhu na chao se mate. Kaschera putali jatha na chao se mate. Oh Lord, I am just like a puppet in your hands. So if you have brought me here to dance, then make me dance, oh Lord, make me dance as you like. Bhakti nai Vedanai Nama Kubadaro Bhakti Vedanta Name Sarthak. So this is from a stanza from poem when Srila Prabhupada, after all his struggles of decades and years, and he has finally arrived in Boston with absolutely nothing. He had just Srimad Bhagavatam, 40 rupees. And he's writing this poem. Why Krishna, you have brought me here? And this is a passage from that poem. And in that helpless, fully surrendered, deep ecstasy, saying, Oh Lord, I'm just like a puppet in your hands. To become a puppet in the hands of Krishna is the perfection of this life. Everyone is a puppet. Either we are puppet in the hands of our own desires, sense gratificatory desires, or we are puppet in the hands of others who want to use us for their own enjoyment, or we can become a puppet in the hands of Krishna. Jiva is Tatastha Shakti. The point is, I don't want to become a puppet and I want to become a puppet master. That's where all the problem comes. That's not allowed. That is only with Krishna or Maya. Jiva is Tatastha Shakti. But how can I become an instrument in the hands of Krishna? How do I know what Krishna wants from me? Arjuna was there in front of Krishna and he asked, Krishna was directly guiding him. How do I know what Krishna wants me to do for him in this life? Yeah, how do I know? That's why we need to study Shastra. If you understand Bhagavad Gita and if you're sincere, Krishna says, Dadati Buddhi Yogam Tam, I give you intelligence. And he is instructing everyone. In that 18th chapter, he said, Anyone who describes Bhagavad Gita is very dear to me. So understand Bhagavad Gita, describe them to others, share his message, to live life according to his instruction. And he tells us through the agency of Guru Parampara, go and ask Guru. And we ask him, ask Krishna. Krishna, how do I? Just that even this question takes so much of strength to ask. Krishna, how do you want me to serve you? Just asking this question. Oh God. What if Krishna said this? No, no, I'm so afraid. I am not ready to give up my plan and go by his plan. I'm so attached to my plan. So I want to use my plan and I want Krishna to use his resources to fulfill my plan. But Krishna is saying, no, it has to be other way around. It has to be my plan and you use your resources to fulfill my plan. Usually I go in front of Krishna saying, this is my plan, this is my desire. You just provide me your energies to fulfill this. But Krishna is saying the different thing. He's saying the plan will be mine. You use your energy to fulfill it. Right? It has to be a very different than that. And then he's saying, yes, Daya, Mataji, your hand is up.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dana Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisance. Prabhuji, as you said that we have to be nimit, like we have to try to be nimit because practically it is very difficult, right? So suppose there's a situation where I am trying best to study, and just because of some reasons I get less marks or लेस एक्लॉज मतलब ऐसा होता है ना कभी कभी हमने जिस तरीके से रिमार्क्स सोचे हुए होते हैं हमारी प्रेजेंटेशन और कोई भी चीज़ वैसे हमें नहीं मिलते हैं ठीक है एंड वी ट्राई आवर बेस्ट एंड आवर इंटेंशन इज आई एम डूइंग बेस्ट स्टडी आई एम प्रिपेयरिंग बेस्ट फॉर द प्लेजर ऑफ कृष्णा we have this thought as well and we didn't get the result as I want okay then what does in that situation should be our thinking that this is also like Krishna wants me to do so many times I took it as in a wrong way.
Yeah, thank you for that question. Very practical question. So one thing is to not become morose and not become sad and not go in the blame mode. Either we blame the system, we blame the teachers, or I blame myself. Not to do any of that. Not to go in the defensive measure, fight, flight, freeze. Whether I start fighting others or I start escaping, I close myself in a room, I don't want to talk to anyone, I don't want to eat anything, or I freeze. I don't know how to respond. Therefore, I numb myself. I numb my feelings and I don't try to feel anything. So that's natural defense mechanism, which is understandable. But Krishna is asking here uh, to respond in a different way. So how I can respond? Very simply, number one, just like here Arjuna, just because Arjuna is a devotee of Krishna doesn't mean that Arjuna did not practice for war. He would practice every day how to shoot arrows. And in fact, one of his name is Savyasachin. He's expert. And he would practice, one of his name is Gudakesha. He conquered sleep. Even in night, in the darkness, he would practice fighting, shooting arrows. And that's why he's such an expert warrior. So he did not slacken his efforts just because he's a devotee of Krishna. In fact, he practiced to his best capacity. So similarly, just because I'm in devotional service does not mean I have to be complacent in my duties. I need to fulfill to the best of my capacity using my all intelligence, with the best of my intelligence. That's one. Second, if the marks has come, I'm not satisfied. Simple question, what do I learn from this? What can I learn from this? Take feedback. I may naturally feel very morose. I may naturally respond in different way. When that drama phase is over, uh, now come to the practical phase. What can I learn from this? Where did I go wrong? Did I not expect the questions? Whether it was my practice there was some flaw in practice, whether I knew I practiced very well, but I did not write the answers very well. I was tired, I was sleepy, it was unexpected, whatever it can be. And how can I improve upon my shortcomings? The result are the assessment of our learning. Results, actually, the right purpose, with the original purpose of result was to assess our learning, where we are, and take the feedback and how to improve upon that. Nowadays, it has become a competition, and therefore, so much status and identity is attached to it. But ultimately, the result of assessment is always individual. Where am I right now, and how can I move ahead? How can I improve? This one simple question can resolve all the answers. Even if someone is criticizing me, someone is giving me feedback, if improvement is my goal, if the growth is my goal, any feedback is a good feedback. Right? Someone is criticizing me. Okay, how can I grow? How can I improve? What is it telling me? If there's any truth, take it. If there's no truth, ignore it. So, so that's one way. And when we always have something higher to look for, that gives a lot of hope and strength. So give your best and leave the rest on God. And this also shows that I'm not the supreme controller. I'm not the only factor in results. There are other factors at play as well. Sometimes four different students, four worked hard, same paper, still someone may excel, someone may not excel. But the point is, it's not always the result. Sometimes the hard work that you did, the process that you followed, um, the values that you followed, the result can come in many other ways. I think I see result only as some numbers on mark sheet, but there can be other result also. The learning that happened throughout that journey, that is my own. The kind of person I became in the journey, the kind of tenacity and hard-working values that I developed, that is also result. Perhaps Krishna is showing me that. Or perhaps Krishna is showing me I need to work hard. It will be very individual based upon specific context. But the point is, how do I grow? What are my next steps? And how do I wake myself up and not go into the negative spiral? Does that answer, Fatima?
Yes, thank you so much, Prabhu. I have other question. May I?
Yeah, please.
Like we have seen, we have heard and read that in Vrindavan, everyone sees Krishna as their son, as their friend, and as their lover, as gopi. In case of gopis, so they never like see Krishna as a god. That's why their relationship is something like Brahma has tasted Krishna, that he is God or not. Indra is also testing Krishna is God or not. But the Vrajavasis doesn't done that, because they see Krishna as their as a son, as a lover, in all that. And in a case of Arjuna, same. Arjuna sees Krishna as a friend, as you said right now. So after seeing this Vishwaroop, so it doesn't affect the relationship of Arjuna and like Krishna, in a way that Arjuna now from that Vishwaroop is considering Krishna as a Bhagavan and not that kind of friendship relationship, the charm of that friendship.
So it certainly affects. And Arjuna himself will express what you are saying just now in next verses. His entire relationship is disturbed. And that is why he's so fearful. And he will beg forgiveness from Krishna. Hey Krishna, hey Yadava. I have addressed you by so many different times. And I have treated you in a very casual way. Please forgive me for that. He will ask that forgiveness. And he will say, I don't want to have relationship with this form of yours. Please come back in your original form. And Krishna will come back to his original form, in which he'll be very peaceful. And that is why even in chapter 12, first verse, he will ask again that question: what is higher? Um, the worship of impersonal aspect, or a worship of personal aspect? Evam satata yukta ye bhakta swam paripas ye chapya aksharam avyaktam tesham ke yoga vittama. He will ask that question because of the reasons that you just spoke. So yes, and we are coming to that shortly.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, Bhakti Prakash.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji Dhanapana. I have a question that many times we have to very quick in choosing between Maya and Krishna. Like, is there any thought or is there anything कि हम लोग instantly अपनी consciousness change कर दें कि हमें माया की तरफ नहीं जाना है and कृष्ण की तरफ जाना है? Quick decision, how to make a quick decision between Maya and
That
Krishna?
is why that is why there's entire culture and lifestyle and habits. That is why discipline is required. If you are waking up at the same time every day, then every time during the time of wake up, I don't have to think whether should I get up today, whether should I keep on sleeping. If you're disciplined, I have to get up, get up. Uh, when I have to take a bath, I have to take a bath. When I have to chant my rounds, I have to chant. So that lifestyle helps a lot in this. And many times there would be such temptation. Sometimes we'll choose right, sometimes we'll not choose. I don't know, whatever the case be. But if you have a certain lifestyle, that helps a lot. And certain discipline, regulation. That is why till the time I'm not on the Raganuga level or on the Bhav Bhakti stage, Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti, I follow a regulated lifestyle. There's regulation, there's discipline. And that is why I take a vow. I will chant minimum 16 numbers of rounds. It's not that every day I'm thinking, should I chant? Should I not chant? How many rounds should I chant? How many rounds should I not chant? So that regulation, lifestyle, culture helps a lot. Association of devotees helps a lot. If I'm alone, mind can cheat us a lot of time. But if I'm with some devotee, a gentle push, a gentle reminder from devotee can help us a lot. And sometimes you can keep some reminder slip in your pockets. Write something that enlivens you. What you read today. You know, write one point, make a slip, keep it in your pocket, go through it from time to time. Those things also help. But the important thing is, even if I find myself choosing Maya at any instant, and it can be very detrimental for me also. But the point is how quickly I pick myself up and show up to serve Krishna. Like the biggest skill can be just waking up each day, getting ready, putting up tilak. Okay, Krishna, how can I serve? Even I have made all the 1,000,000,001 bad choices earlier. But the next moment I wake myself up, I show up myself up. How do I serve Krishna? So this is not a sanction for I can make that choices, and that's not the point. Point is What do I have right now? I don't have past. I don't have future. I have only this present moment with me. In this moment, what can I do? How can I make that choice? Again, I have this moment. Again, I have this moment. Again, I have this moment, right? So instead of lamenting and hankering, staying in the present, and how can I choose Krishna? I'm chanting japa, and I also have mobile in one hand and japa in other hand, and I'm looking at both of them. Can I let go of my mobile, or will I let go of my japa bits? Can I turn off my mobile in that moment and just focus on Krishna? I'm honoring Prasad and the TV is on and some movie is going on. Can I honor Prasad in full absorption and full presence? Can I take that on? Switching off everything, just absorbing Krishna, respecting Krishna, like that. Every day I'm putting up tilak. Do I always put tilak by running here and there with mindlessness, or can I actually sit on an asan, have an Achman cup in front of me, and can I focus on the names that I'm saying, Om Keshavaya Namaha, Om Narayana Namaha, Om Madhavaya Namaha? Can I be mindful? So that's what it takes practice. Small instances. Someone spoke very bad to me. What do I do in that moment? Can I take a pause and thank Krishna? I'm walking and my feet suddenly is hurt. What do I do? What are the words that come out of my mouth? Can I say thank you, Krishna, in that moment? Or will I curse? So it's a practice. So sometimes we'll be successful, sometimes we'll not be successful. Point is, in the very next moment, get up, dress up, show up. That's all what we can do. Yes, Shatabi Mataji.
Vibration, my question is, how can we know Krishna's purpose for us? For example, I want to become a psychiatrist or something else and want to do my residency in the US. So how do I know whether there is Krishna's plan or simply my own desires?
There's no formula. I can't give you a mathematical formula. X plus Y, you put value X and Y and equal to this is how Krishna will show. This is purpose for you. Krishna's one way of saying is Tesham Satata Yuktanam Bhajtam Pritipurvam. See, Arjuna, for Arjuna, hearing these instructions of Bhagavad Gita, and he came to conclusion that I need to surrender. Karishya Vachnam Tava. I will do as you say. Which means I will fight. Now, if you study Srimad Bhagavatam first canto, there's a past time when Krishna has disappeared from this planet, and Arjuna is taking the queens of Krishna from Dwarka to Hastinapur. And on the way, he faced cowherd boys, and he fights with them, and Arjuna loses. Here he's fighting Bhishma Dev, Dronacharya, Karna, such warriors, and he's conquering. Later on, he's defeated by a simple, ordinary cowherd boys. And Arjuna is very morose. And he's thinking, and he's remembering the instructions of Bhagavad Gita. And the conclusion that he comes to, that now is my time to retire. So same Krishna, same instructions, Bhagavad Gita, same person, Arjuna. In one context, it meant fight. In another context, it meant retirement. Are you understanding? So these scriptures can speak to us very differently on a very individual level, on the context of our life. So why I'm telling all of this, that there's no fixed formula that, you put values. It's not a mathematical formula. You have to these are revealed scriptures. These are living scriptures. I read, and I I surrender to Krishna, and Krishna reveals from within. That's one way. Now, how does it happen practically? Um, so in this case, it may mean, earlier the system was, the child was born, their astrological charts were made. So astrology used to be, not used to be, it's currently a Vedic science, and people would very clearly could see their proclivity in life. What are they good at? What are their natures and strengths? But nowadays, there are many few, uh, all astrologers, how much they can be trusted, not trusted, is very questionable. The science is very bona fide. It's a science coming from Krishna. But the person who are giving this science today, how much are they bona fide? There is a lot of corruption also in this field at present. Less qualified people, unqualified people, calling them as astrologers, and which has led to a lot of misguidance. So that used to be a bona fide science of Krishna to determine the natures of different individuals, based upon which they can engage themselves in very practical way. See, when Krishna was in Vrindavan, he was just 3 years old, 4 years old, and he was tending to the calves. It's clear he was a cowherd man. When he was a Kshatriya, and he knew that his role was Kshatriya. But nowadays, many times we don't know what is our nature, what is our strength, uh, what am I supposed to do in life, where would I fulfill my purpose. So that comes usually by hit and trial. That may come with experience. That may come up with the feedback of people who are closer to me, who can see um, what comes naturally to me. It can come through career counseling. It can come through all the different tools and resources available, right? So it's a big field. So I use my intelligence. I take help of different devotees and my well-wishers and experienced people. I pray to Krishna. I read scriptures, and I do my best. And sometimes it is not a discovery. Sometimes it's creation also. Like you decide and you do certain things, experiment it. And that's why, Her Grace Urmila Mataji, disciple of Srila Prabhupada, has written a book as Career Dharma, complete, just to help devotees find out their purpose. But it's a combination, and there are different tools available, and based upon that, you need to figure what works for you. Vedic science was astrology. Many people would see the chart and say, okay, you do this, not do this. And they would generally give a field. And within that field also, there are many varieties. Like oftentimes we think there's only Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, there's only four. But these four fields are very huge fields. And there's a lot of varieties in that. Like being a Shudra, there are thousands of professions in just being Shudra. Someone who's a gardener, someone who's a cleaner, even a surgeon in the hospital who's performing heart surgery, they are identified as Shudra, because they need to be very expert in their art of how to stitch, and how to uh, perform the surgery. So and there's a lot of variety in all of these four areas. It also dependent upon which opulence are you attracted to most. It's like different individuals, some are attracted to wealth, some are attracted to knowledge, some are attracted to fame, some are attracted to beauty. So based upon what kind of opulence, which is your primary attractor, I can understand my nature as well. There are many ways and many tools. Just take help of, use that intelligence, pray to Krishna. That's some combination. of everything. In terms of your nature and varna. In spiritual terms, it's very simple. Go and ask Guru. My dear spiritual master, respected spiritual master, what is it? How how can I serve you? That's one service. And Srila Prabhupada said, I always have only one question to my Guru Maharaj, how can I serve you? And even, let us say, we say about book distribution. Now, different individuals can distribute books very differently based upon your own nature. It's not that everyone will go on the road and distribute. It's not that everyone will go on the library and distribute that. There's not only one way. Based upon your nature, like someone may be very Brahmanically inclined. So they may give lecture on Bhagavad Gita, and when the audience are attracted, he will ask, would you like to have this knowledge which I'm speaking? Yes. Okay, take Bhagavad Gita. So he gave a class and distributed Bhagavad Gita. Someone may be very good in sales. He would go out and, within just 60 seconds, 1 minute to convince someone to purchase a book. So both are doing book distribution, but based upon their different nature. So same service can be done based upon your own nature. That's what I'm saying. Anyway, it's a big topic, and this one. But one simple answer is ask Krishna, and Krishna does reveal oneself. If you are open enough to hear his answer, Tesham Satata Yuktana Vajtam Pritiko. Take help of devotees. Okay, after that, Sanjay Uvacha. O King, after hearing these words from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the trembling Arjuna offered obeisances with folded hands again and again. He fearfully spoke to Lord Krishna in faltering voice. So after saying this, he asked Krishna, who are you? What is your mission? Krishna replied in 3 verses, and now Arjuna is offering his prayers. Sthane Rishikesha Tava Prakritya Jagat Prahasyate Anurajyate Cha Rakshami Bhitani Disho Dravanti Sarve Namasyanti Cha Siddha Sangaha. Okay, can someone please read the translation and continue reading the translation till verse 46. Let's go. Yes, Shatavi Mataji, continue. Okay.
Arjuna said, O master of the senses, the world becomes joyful upon hearing your name, and thus everyone becomes attached to you. Although the perfected beings offer you their respectful homage, the demons are afraid and they flee here and there. All this is rightly done.
Continue till
Text 37. O great one, greater even than Brahma, you are the original creator. Why then should they not offer their respectful obeisances unto you? O limitless one, God of gods, refugee of the universe, you are the invincible source, the cause of all causes, transcendental to this material manifestation. You are the original personality of the Godhead, the oldest, the ultimate sanctuary of this manifested cosmic world. You are the knower of everything, and you are all that is knowable. You are the supreme refugee above the material most or limitless form. This whole cosmic manifestation is pervaded by you. You are air, and you are the supreme controller. You are fire, you are water, and you are the moon. You are Brahma, the first living creature, and you are the great grandfather. I therefore offer my respectful obeisances unto you 1,000 times, and again, yet again. Obeisances to you from the front, from behind, and from all sides. O unbounded power, you are the master of limitless might. You are all pervading, and thus you are everything.
okay, let's
Thinking
chant
of you,
first. Sakheti matva prasabham yaduktam he Krishna he Yadav he Sakheti ajanata mahimanam tavedam maya pramadat pranayena vapi yajjavahasartham satkritosi विहारशय्यासन भोजनेषु एकोत्थवाप्यच्युत तत्समक्षं तत्क्षामये त्वामहं अहम अप्रमेयम्.
Thinking of you as my friend, I have rashly addressed you, O Krishna, O Yadav, O my friend, not knowing your glories. Please forgive whatever I may have done in madness or in love. I have dishonored you many times, jesting as we relaxed, lay on the same bed, or sat or ate together, sometimes alone and sometimes in front of many friends. O infallible one, please excuse me for all those offenses.
So, Daya Mataji, what you are mentioning. So, these are the verses. Like his rasa is changing here. So, he's asking for forgiveness. What I've done in madness. I've dishonored you many times. So, okay, continue.
You are the father of this complete cosmic manifestation, of the moving and the non moving. You are its worshipable chief, the supreme spiritual master. No one is equal to you, nor can anyone be one with you. How then could there be anyone greater than you within three worlds, O Lord of immeasurable power?
Yeah. Right till 46.
You are the supreme Lord to be worshipped by every living being. Thus I fall down to offer you my respectful obeisances and ask your mercy. As a father tolerates the impudence of his son, a friend the impertinence of a friend, or a husband the familiarity of his wife, please tolerate the wrongs I may have done to you. After seeing this universal form, which I have never seen before, I am gladdened, but at the same time my mind is disturbed with fear. Therefore, please bestow your grace upon me and reveal again your form as the personality of Godhead, O Lord of Lords, O Abode of the universe.
Next verse also.
O universal form, O thousand-armed Lord, I wish to see you in your four-armed form, with helmeted head and with gloved wheel, conch, and lotus flower in your hands. I long to see you in that form.
So, yeah, in these prayers, first of all, Arjuna is recognizing Krishna's action as all good for everyone. And in verse 36, he's saying, after hearing from Krishna, the outcome of how the world becomes joyful on hearing your name and everyone becomes attached to you. You are worshipped by great souls and demons are afraid and fleeing away. Saying Krishna is worshipable by everyone in verse 37. And he's addressing Krishna by various names. Aksharam, Mahatma, Ananta, Devesha. Right? Each of this has a specific meaning. Aksharam, he's not perishable like material creation. He's Mahatma, he's most magnanimous and unlimited. He's Ananta. Nothing is not covered by Lord's influence and energy. He's Ananta. He's Devesha. He's a controller. Dev and Isha. He's a controller of all the Devas. And then he's saying he's Nidhanam. He's the ultimate rest even for Brahman. He's the ultimate rest of everything and he's all knowledge. And verse 39, he's saying you're the essence of everything. You are air, you are fire, water, moon, you are Brahma, you are Prapitamaha. He's the father of Brahma. He's the supreme controller. He's the essence of everything. And then in verse 40, therefore he's saying, I'm offering you obeisances from front, from behind, from all sides. So verse 40, you can practically see the ecstasy of Krishna in offering those obeisances. And then in verse 41 and 42, he's begging forgiveness for treating Krishna as an ordinary friend. He says, I did not know your glories. And he felt that he has offended Krishna in many ways, in madness, in love. And is begging to be excused for many informal gestures. Like he called Krishna as Yadava, and he has dishonored him many times in joking ways. Jesting as he is relaxing with Krishna. He laid on the same bed. He sat together, he ate together. That's what friends do. And he says, I never knew that Krishna could accept such universal form. But the glory is he cannot forget the relationship of a friend. Because the rasa is the relationship between living entity and Krishna is fixed eternally. It cannot be forgotten. And then he's saying in verse 43, you are the supreme father, the supreme spiritual master. You gave this knowledge to Brahma. You are the greatest. No one is greater than or equal than you. And he's falling to the ground, begging for mercy. He's requesting him to tolerate all wrongdoings. And he's giving many examples, just like father tolerates the impudence of his son, just like a friend tolerates the impertinence of a friend. Just like, and giving the example of wife, which become familiar with her partner. So in verse 45, he's finally requesting to withdraw this fearsome form and reveal the form as personality of Godhead. Because he's fearful, he's afraid. At the same time, he's joyful. Both emotions he's experiencing simultaneously. He's afraid because he has committed so many offenses. He's joyful because he's very happy to know that his friend is so opulent that he's the supreme personality of Godhead and he can show his universal form. He's very joyful seeing this form also because Krishna is his friend and he can show this form. But he's fearful. Oh my God, I committed so many offenses also. And Srila Prabhupada, right, it proves that Krishna can assume any form. So he will convert himself in the Narayan form, then he'll come to Sham Sundar form. So in verse 46, he wants to see the four-handed form, right? So this shows that Krishnastu Bhagwan Swayam. Krishna, Narayan is an expansion of Krishna, not the other way around. This verse shows that, right? Okay, someone else can read the translation of remaining verses of this chapter, please. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Maya prasannena tavarjunedam Rupam param darshitam atma yogat Tejomayam vishwananantamadyam Yanme tvadanyena nadrishcha purvam. Can someone volunteer, please? Yes, Prerna Mataji. You can.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, My dear Arjun, happily have I shown you by my internal potency this supreme universal form within the material world. No one before you has ever seen this primal form, unlimited and full of glaring effulgence. O best of the Kuru warriors, no one before you has ever seen this universal form of mine, for neither by studying the Vedas, nor by performing sacrifices, nor by charity, nor by pious activities, nor by severe penances can I be seen in this form in the material world. You have been perturbed and bewildered by seeing this horrible feature of mine. Now let it be finished. My devotee, be free again from all disturbance. With a peaceful mind, you can now see the form you desire. When Arjun thus saw Krishna in his original form, he said, okay, sorry. Sanjaya said to Dhritarashtra, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, having spoken this thus to Arjuna, displays his real four-arm form and at last shows his two-arm form, thus encouraging the fearful Arjuna. When Arjuna thus saw Krishna in his original form, he said, O Janardana, seeing this human-like form so very beautiful, I am now composed in mind, and I am restored to my original nature. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, My dear Arjun, this form of mine you are now seeing is very difficult to behold. Even the demigods are ever seeking the opportunity to see this form, which is so dear. The form you are seeing with your transcendental eyes cannot be understood simply by studying the Vedas, nor by undergoing serious penances, nor by charity, nor by worship. It is not by these means that one can see me as I am. My dear Arjuna, only by undivided devotional service can I be understood as I am, standing before you, and can thus be seen directly. Only this way can you enter into the mysterious of my understanding. My dear Arjuna, he who engage in my pure devotional service, free from the contaminations of fruitive activities and mental speculation, he who works for me
who makes me the supreme goal of his life and who is friendly to every living being, he certainly comes to me.
This verse is the essence of full Bhagavad Gita, this last verse. He engages in my pure devotional service, free from the contamination of fruitive activities and mental speaking. He who works for me makes me the supreme goal of his life, and he who is friendly to every living, he certainly comes to me. Mat karma krin, mat paramo, mat bhakta sangha varjita, nirvairaha sarva bhuteshu ya samam eti pandava. So, in these final verses, these are the essence of this whole chapter, that only pure devotees can see Krishna's two armed forms. Just like if you see verse 47, saying, by my internal potency, Krishna is saying, happily, by my desire. I've shown you this form, I'll show this other forms also. And verse 48 is glorifying bhakti. He's saying this universal form, what you have just saw, it cannot be seen by studying Vedas, performing sacrifice, charity, pious activities, or penances. Which means it cannot be seen by personal efforts. It can only be seen when Krishna gives the transcendental vision. All of these things are okay as long as these are leading to surrendering to Krishna. By these efforts alone, it's not possible. So these qualifications are insufficient in themselves. So, and in verse 49, Krishna is saying, this fearsome form has disturbed your mind, therefore let this vision be over. See, one of the purposes of the universal form was Krishna wanted to show that Bhishma Drona have already been killed by him. That was Krishna's purpose in seeing the universal form. You are thinking that if you don't fight, uh, you can save your relatives. But Krishna is saying, this is my plan, my arrangement. They will be killed. Whether you fight, don't fight. So he wanted to show that. And why Krishna wanted to kill them? Because they were silent when Draupadi was disrobed. And thus they deserve to be killed. And this was also shown to Arjuna, that because devotees are always peaceful and cannot perform such horrible actions. And Srila Prabhupada also is writing that purport that devotees are not interested in universal form. Why? Devotees are interested in serving Krishna. How do you serve universal form? Is there any way which you can offer seva to universal form? You can offer bhoga to the unlimited mouths. Seeing all the heads crushed between the teeth of Krishna and you are offering bhoga. Is it possible? Can you dress Krishna in that way? How much cloth would you need? How much big dress would you need to dress the universal form? Because a devotee cannot offer seva to Krishna in that form, therefore they are not interested. They are interested in a form in which they can reciprocate and serve Krishna. So therefore, then in verse 50, Krishna showed the transcendental four-armed form, and then he showed the two-armed form. And Srila Prabhupada is giving example of Vasudeva and Devaki. When Krishna appeared, in the jail of, in the Mathura Kansa's jail, he appeared in the four-armed form. And then he changed himself to the two-armed form of child, right? And then in verse 51, how Arjuna again became peaceful, his mind is pacified, his sanity is restored. And verse 52, it is that two-handed form is more difficult to see than universal form. Sudurdarsham, there's a word in the shloka, Sudurdarsham. Even demigods desire to see this form, which is so dear. Why two-armed form is more difficult? See, for universal form, even a tinge of bhakti is sufficient. But for two-armed form, it's difficult even for demigods like Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva. Even Lord Brahma became bewildered. Even he could not recognize Krishna when he was in Vrindavan. And there are high chances that people deride him in his human form. When Krishna appears in two-armed form, people in general don't believe him to be God. They think it's an ordinary form like us. So may offer respect to, so that they come up with a lot of different commentaries, and Srila Prabhupada is quoting that. Then how to see how there are different processes to know the absolute truth. One process is materialistic calculation of the Supreme Lord. Another is speculative calculation of the Supreme Lord. And the third is transcendental process, as described in chapter 4. So there's a big purport, and Srila Prabhupada is describing different ways and means through which people attempt to make sense of Krishna. Like materialistic calculation is Krishna is a historical personality. He's an ordinary man. And he was very powerful, but still he accepted a material body. So like that. And someone who is speculative, they are in search of knowledge and they speculate on Krishna. And they consider him to be less important than universal form of Supreme. They think universal form of Krishna is higher than his original two-armed form. So they speculate like that. And then there's a descending process, transcendental knowledge, to hear from authorities. So in verse 53, it glorifies bhakti by negation, that two-armed form cannot be seen by any endeavor, not by studying Vedas, serious penances, charity, or worship. And finally, verse 54 and 55. These are the essence of the whole Bhagavad Gita. Especially verse 55. Anyone who wants to approach the Supreme in Krishna Loka, in intimate connection, must take to that formula. So anyone who wants to approach the Supreme on Krishna Loka must take this formula. What is that formula? Engage in pure devotional service, freed from the contamination of fruitive activities and mental speculation, work for Krishna, making Krishna the supreme goal of his or her life, and was friendly to every living being. Literally. Very interesting verse, right? And to make Krishna as the supreme goal of life. Prema Pumartha Mahan. So then what to, okay, now it's only me and Krishna, no one else. Krishna is my supreme. I don't care. I give a damn for anyone else. It's only between me and Krishna. No. If you make Krishna as supreme goal, you will see the presence of Krishna in every living entity. And therefore, you will be friendly to every living being because Krishna is present there. And Krishna is present in their heart. And what are the characteristics of pure devotional service? Srila Prabhupada describes in purport. Mad Bhaktaha, Sangha Varjita. Here it says Sangha Varjita. Srila Prabhupada describes each of this word. What do we mean by Mad Bhaktaha? What is Sangha Varjita? What is Mad Karmakrit? What is Mat Paramo? What is Nirvaire Sarvabhuteshu? So if you read the purport, Srila Prabhupada is describing each of this word. Mad Bhakta means who engages in pure devotional service. And it's saying either perform all nine or at least one. Sang Varjita means free from contamination of fruitive act and mental speculation, which means give up the association of atheist, fruitive worker, mental speculator. Mat Karmakrit means to work without attachment to result. To work with this mentality that Krishna is the enjoyer. Mat Paramo. Mat Paramo means to make Krishna the supreme goal of life. To to consider that Krishna's association in the supreme abode as the highest perfection of life. No desire to go to heavenly planets or any other planet within this world, or even Brahma Jyoti. The goal is to go to Golok Vrindavan. That's the highest perfection of life in the spiritual world. And Nirvairai Sarva Bhuteshu means friendly to all living beings. How can one act as friend to all living beings? By sharing Krishna consciousness. Right? Okay, please, someone reads this last paragraph. Quickly, someone read. Yes, Kishori Mataji.
In some ways, the universal form of Krishna, which is a temporary manifestation in the form of time which diverse everything, and even the form of Vishnu, 400, have all been exhibited by Krishna. Thus, Krishna is the origin of all these manifestations. It is not that Krishna is a manifestation of the original Vishwarupa or Vishnu. Krishna is the origin of all forms. There are hundreds and thousands of Vishnus. But for a devotee, no form of Krishna is important but the original form, two-handed, Shyamasundara. In the Brahma Samhita, it is stated that those who are attached to the Shyamasundara form of Krishna in love and devotion can see him always within the heart and cannot see anything else. One should understand, therefore, that the purport of this 11th chapter is that the form of Krishna is essential and
So, chapter 11, the universal form. First of all, we saw how Arjuna is requesting to see the universal form, and Krishna is describing how is universal form, and he's giving him special vision. And then we saw how Sanjay is describing Arjuna's vision to Dhritarashtra. Arjuna is beholding Krishna's universal form. He's very astonished. He hesitates, and he sees all existence, radiance. So vivid descriptions are there. He's seeing Krishna's frightening form also, Kala Rupa, and he's asking him, "What is your mission? Who are you?" And then Krishna is replying, "Time I am, become my instrument." And then Arjuna is offering prayers. And in the last verses 47 to 55, we saw how only pure devotees see Krishna's true form, and how the pure devotional service of Krishna's instruction and this form. Okay. So thank you very much, Hare Krishna. We'll stop here. I think there are 2 classes remaining, right? On Monday, we'll complete chapter 12. If there are any questions, we can have a class on Tuesday. Anything you want to discuss, or a quick recap of 6 chapters. But please go through these descriptions if you have not already. And before coming on Monday, do read chapter 12. If there's any questions from any of the chapter, any of the verses, any theme you want me to repeat, you want to discuss, any query, please write down on a piece of paper and bring that on next 2 classes. Okay? Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Have a most amazing day.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
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 Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Krishna.